You probably think money is printed by the government in giant factories with massive printing presses. But here's the truth that might surprise you. Most money doesn't exist as physical cash at all. In fact, only about 3% of all the money in the world exists as coins and banknotes. So where does that 97% come from? The answer is stranger than fiction.
It doesn't come from printing presses. It comes from keystrokes.
Every time you take out a loan, use a credit card, or see a stimulus package, that's money being created digitally. And the masterminds behind this digital creation, they're called central banks. The Fed, the ECB, the Bank of England, they don't just manage money, they create it out of thin air. To understand how central banks create money, we need to look at their most powerful tool, the keyboard. When a central bank wants to create money, they don't print it, they type it into existence. This process is called open market operations, but that's just a fancy name for digital money creation. Here's how it works. The central bank decides to create, say, $1 billion of new money. They don't print $1 billion in cash. They simply add $1 billion to their own digital account.
But they don't just leave it there. They use it to buy assets, usually government bonds.
Those bonds are essentially IOUs from the government. By buying them, the central bank injects new money into the economy.
This is called quantitative easing when they do it on a large scale. You've probably heard the term.
Since 2008, central banks around the world have created over $25 trillion this way. That's $25 trillion that didn't exist before, created with zero printing presses, just keystrokes.
But here's where it gets interesting. The central bank doesn't keep this money.
It flows from the central bank into commercial banks and then into the economy. Let's follow that cascade. Step 1. The central bank creates new money and buys bonds from commercial banks. Now, the commercial banks have more money in their reserves. That means they can lend more. And that's how a single keystroke at a central bank can ripple through the entire economy. So what does this mean for you, for your wallet, for your savings? When central banks create money, they don't distribute it equally. It enters the economy through banks and financial markets first. This means that before the new money reaches you, through wages or everyday spending, it's already been used to buy assets. So, every time you see prices rise at the grocery store, remember the keystroke that started it all. So now you see the invisible machine. Central banks create money with keystrokes. That money flows through banks into assets and eventually reaches your pocket, but only after its value has been diluted. This is why your money buys less every year. This is the hidden engine of inflation. And once you understand this system, you start seeing it everywhere. In news about inflation, in debates about stimulus, in the rising cost of living.
You're no longer just a spectator. You can see the machine.
And that understanding changes everything. Not just about money, about power, about society, about the future. This is what economics and money cosmos is all about, revealing the hidden systems that shape our world. Every week, we decode one economic mystery, from money creation to global power games. If you want to understand the invisible machine, subscribe and join us. Welcome to the Economics and Money Cosmos.